Kala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahu, Brakatahu Shai, Brakatahu, Brakatahu Shai, Brakatahu, Brakatahu Shai, the water, the Baba, called Kadash. I like to give the honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone that teaches truth, which we know is 100% true. It's the true word of our Lord. Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shai being the Savior, our Redeemer. Do a quick lesson through the Spirit. I kind of had it prepared earlier, but I wanted to get home to do it. And by the time I got home, I kind of lost which way I was going to go with it. So I'm just really going through the Spirit right now. But I remember something I want to talk about is this truth is universal, man. This gospel of ours, these laws, statutes, commandments is something that's universal, and if you use it properly, it can help dictate your life and lead you on the right path. And I equate it to, like, being on the road, driving, you putting your faith in that vehicle, that it's going to get you to where you need to go. And that's what this truth is like. That's what these laws, statutes, commandments are like. If we follow them, to the best of our ability, it's going to get us to where we go and to where we want to go. And our destination is to be the elect, to be saved out of this, to be rescued out of our captivity. And we want the smoothest road as possible. And following the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man, that's the easiest route. But a lot of times, because we are so disobedient, we've been trained to not trust and not to believe in faith, but to believe in man. Therefore, a lot of times we go off the path, And the truth is like, you ever been in anybody that swims, you be in the pool and you holding on to the side of the pool, but it comes a time when you got to let go of that side of that pool and you got to get out there and you have to swim, and even in deep water that you can't stand up in. I remember when I was first learning how to swim, man, you had that fear. But I had an uncle, man, he just took my ass and threw me out in the deep part because he knew I could swim. I was pussyfooting, to be honest with you. When he threw me out in that deep part, man, I struggled and got my ass back to that side again. But I had to know that I had the ability to do it. And a lot of times we don't know that we have that ability. All we have to do is put our trust and our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We have to get thrown out in the deep end. And a lot of times the Lord's going to throw you out there, man. Because sometimes we refuse to go on our own, And that's the beauty of this truth. Okay, I remember what I wanted to talk about earlier, because what it was, I remember, like say, coming up, I come up in a project community, run by a bunch of matriarchal run, a lot of women, and you see a lot of these kids, man, that grow up in that type of environment, they don't have any structure. And I remember myself during that time, not having a man in the household. I know I'm kind of shifting lanes, shifting gears a little bit, but you can see the dysfunction that happens when you don't have the order set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that's why this Bible, these laws, these statutes, commandments, makes things run smoothly. But once you go off the beaten path, what the Lord has given you to do, it's going to be a rough road, man. And like I say, a lot of our women, they fell for the trick. They say, well, we don't need a man. Even though the Bible tells you need a man, you should have a man head of the household. That's why you had the father, and she was relinquished that daughter over to her husband. Always supposed to have a head over her. But now we have these communities where they don't have that structure, which the Bible has laid out for us. And that's why you have so much dysfunction. That's why you have young men that are growing up and not having any boundaries, man. They have no discipline. And like I say, myself foremost, I remember growing up like that, in a whole neighborhood full of other young kids that was just like, it was almost like a damn free-for-all out there, just trying to figure out shit, as you go along. And the generation above you just teaching you more wrong shit. But and if it wasn't for Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, I can imagine where I would be right now, I know it wasn't nothing but him that guided me to where I needed to be. Put me with the people that I need to be. Give me these leaders to guide me. The elder apostles of Yahweh, the elder apostles of GMS, man. When I first fell into this truth, man, I remember I was trying to find my way, but when I started learning from the elders apostles, man, it just showed me the path that, how far I was going off in the wrong direction, even when I was looking. And it showed me and put me right back on the tracks that I needed to be. Like I always had, like uncles, and I was athletic. I had coaches that kind of showed me certain things that gave me a little bit of discipline. But when I come into this truth, man, it really gives you all the discipline that you need. And that's why we say we have to rely on this truth, man, 100%. Our faith, man. You have to let go of that side of that pool, man, and go out there and swim like the Lord has required you to do. And that kind of goes back to Job when Yahweh Shah was talking to Job, man. He was saying, gird up your loins, man, like a man, you know. And that's what we have to do as men is let go of all those things that we learned in the past, man. Those things that help barriers that's kept us pretty much incarcerated. You're incarcerated in this system. You know, the system tells you what you can do and what you can't do, and you can't go beyond those boundaries. But with Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah, man, it's limitless of what you can and cannot do. And yeah, this truth is universal, man, and it's going to be a universal law when the Lord comes back. I think I had a dream similar to that last night, man. How this truth is going to reign over the world, man. Oh no, I was reading in might have been in Exodus, where this truth is going to reign. When Yahweh Shai comes back, these laws, statutes, commandments going to be universal law, and everybody's going to have to abide by it. And one thing that kind of came to me today, man. The Lord tells you, you're supposed to 7 days, you're supposed to rest. The land is supposed to rest. That's the purpose of having a Sabbath. And like I said, I've been dealing with some health issues and things of that nature, but I have to start being more obedient to what Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai has ordered us to do. And one of the things I have to do is learn how to make sure observing that Sabbath like we're supposed to. Not being out here working, not doing things that the Lord not required to do. And one thing, you got to give your body rest. And I'm going to start fasting on those days, man. And I mean, when you're talking about giving you the land rest, you have to give your body rest as well. And so I'm going to start doing a fast on those days, Lord will, able to, stick to what I'm willing to try to do. We have to follow these laws. These laws going to lead you right every time, man. It's not going to mislead you. It's not going to, in no kind of way, it's like a cheat code, man. These laws, statutes, commandments is like a cheat code, and we have to realize that. If you don't realize that, you're going to continue to suffer out here in this world, man. But let me hit some precepts real quick. Shalaki said, like I said, I was going through the spirit, but that's what came to me, Yeah, definitely on those Sabbath days, man, because we just had Sabbath here was Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown. So we just coming off that Sabbath. So I think it's a good idea for me, personally. What I'm gonna start doing is fasting on those days, man. Even though I do intermittent fasting, I try to do at least 12 hours to get my body rest. But I think that one day a week is giving your body rest too by doing a fast, Same way with the land. Your body just like that land. Give it some rest. Start working it. Don't go out and eat a big meal on that Sabbath day. Let me see. Shalaki, just bear with me. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So Lord had laid these statutes commandments out all the way from the beginning. It's like our spiritual guidebook, you know. It's like it's like you buy something from a store, TV, it always gonna come with instructions. Well, this is our instruction manual, how we supposed to do. And the closer we get back to being obedient and following what the Lord asks us to do, the better our life is going to be. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So that means it's going to endure from now until eternity, even when the Lord comes back. So much more so. And really now we really need this word more than anything because the world is so out of whack, man, so out of tune right now. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 22. For the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, is our judge. The Lord is our lawgiver. The Lord is our king, and he will save us. So, you know, it's like you got judges and stuff like that here today, you know, in man's law, you know, uh, the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, is universal law, man. It's going to be all over, you know, we do it to the best of our ability, but we know certain laws that we can't keep in the society because it goes against man's law. But you know, we do it to the best of our ability. You know, we can't go out here and certain things that we can't do right now under the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, but we keep them to the best of our ability because right now we still in our captivity and we still in these corrupted bodies, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And that's telling you right there, man. That's all we supposed to do, man. To the best of our ability. We still have to live in this world, but the whole duty is doing what the Lord is requiring you to do. And we have 613 laws, statutes, commandments that we're supposed to go by. The only one we can't keep is the law of sacrifice. We're not supposed to. That's done away with when Yahweh came back. That was the purpose of him coming back, man. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, covering the soul of the testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. And like I said, we all foolish in this world, man. We all foolish, especially compared to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. But this Lord, these law, statutes, commandments, it was to give us wisdom and wiseness, you know, make our face to shine. And Lord will, man, you know, say this lesson is edifying, but definitely, you know, we look forward to that day when the Lord return, man, that this law is going to be universal all over the land, and these heathens are going to have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Imagine how much more this earth is going to be, you know, when we practice the Sabbath laws, you know, these dietary laws, um, everything, man, these family laws, things how you're supposed to conduct and put your family in order. Because right now, things are so out of whack because it goes opposite. Esau Edom, you know, he detests the laws. That's why he got everything that goes against the laws, man. So Lord will, man, let's edify with that. Say shalom.